So you've been coming in here for about 3 years now, talking to the incarcerated residents. You first came in for intervention and prevention work. Can you tell me a little bit about that and what else has evolved over the time during your visits in St. Quentin?
So originally the plan was to bring in my staff to get to interact with incarcerated people, to understand that people can program and work on themselves and transform themselves and kind of see what happens after prosecution happens. That initial visit, I also wanted to talk to incarcerated people about potential intervention and prevention strategies that my office could use with our youth, particularly our at-risk youth that we know need a lot of attention. But from that point forward, a lot has, I think, come from the partnership that we have here. We're using this in a lot of different ways to really inform the work that we do so that we become better prosecutors. And now it's morphed into me bringing other elected DAs. I think we have 13 from different counties around the state coming into San Quentin, which is why I'm here today, to make sure that they are exposed to the great work that's going on in this facility.
Last time you brought them in for sentence disparities. Did anything come from that?
I really wanted them to see two things. One, again, I can tell you all day that people can change. We can read that in articles, maybe see a news clip, but it's very different than when you sit across from somebody and talk to them about their personal journey from becoming incarcerated to where they are now. So I wanted to really make sure that elected DAs were having that same experience because we are responsible for making resentencing decisions. And to be more open to the possibility of resentencing, you need to understand that people can change who they are and change their lives. The other part of it was to expose some of the sentencing practices that are going on in different counties around the state so that we could have an informed discussion about maybe what things need to change in order to create a more fair system.
Has anything that you learned from the incarcerated residents that allowed you to be informed on how you later prosecute?
Yes, every time I come in here, I learn something new. I think most of all is the use of enhancements and how we use them as prosecutors, whether or not enhancements are stacked on top of each other. We've had a symposium where we talked a lot about gang enhancements and people being able to express why they felt that a gang enhancement was inappropriately applied to their case. And I think it's important for prosecutors to hear those things so that we can reflect on it when we are making charging decisions. When we talk about potentially trying a juvenile as an adult, well, what does that mean for what sentence we potentially recommend to the court or seek to impose on that juvenile? Even if we believe it's appropriate to bring them over to adult court, that doesn't mean that they necessarily need a life sentence when they are held accountable. So all of the conversations around these topics have informed my view, certainly, of the way that we look at potential sentences in San Francisco.
So in regards to reentry, when a prosecutor sees a reentry case or possibly a resentencing case or a parole board case come across their desk, what is something that they may be looking at to evaluate whether an incarcerated person has made some genuine changes in their life?
For me, what I'm looking at is what they've been doing while they've been incarcerated. What programs have they engaged in? And not just the number, but this is how valuable are the programs that they engaged in? What are they trying to learn about themselves, and have they identified programs that they believe will help them gain that insight? Have they engaged in any type of vocational training or found a passion or a hobby that they've engaged in, like, again, San Quentin News, something that has given them purpose to give back to even their current community that they're in. We certainly look at behavior. So looking at whether people have received write-ups and how remote are those write-ups? Are they recent? Are they, 10 years ago? I'm a prosecutor who believes, or a person who believes that, early on in a person's incarceration, of course, they might have some struggles and some difficulties in that transition period. So I'm not looking sort of at the very beginning stage, but certainly I am looking at, has that behavior started to balance itself out over time? I would hope that the person has been able to demonstrate remorse, show an understanding of how they ended up committing the crime, right? If it's childhood trauma, if it's neglect, if it's abuse, being able to identify that, be open and transparent about that, indicate what they have done to work through those things that led them down this path. I want to see and understand that they now have empathy, for their victims, for the victims' families, for the communities who have been impacted by their crime. What do they want to do to help continue to repair communities or give back to communities?